we're going to talk about modifying that stock intake system on your car. In this case, we have a 1998 Lexus GS400. We have the stock intake system currently installed on the vehicle, but I'm going to show you a few little twists and turns and modifications you can make to make it flow a little better and to make it sound a lot better. First and foremost, you're going to notice that the GS400 has a kind of a ram air type setup, which is really cool. It brings cold air in right into the stock intake box. So good setup here, not going to mess with this. Here's your throttle body and your stock intake tube. Now, on the back side of this stock intake tube is a big resonator assembly, and that is designed to remove certain frequencies and sounds from the induction process. Right here is your mass airflow sensor. This is the top of your air intake box. Inside this intake box, or air cleaner assembly, would be your air filter. And you can imagine I've upgraded that air filter to a K&N right here. I've always had good luck with K&N air filters, so that's what I've always run. Where this fits into is the bottom part of the intake box, and there actually is some modifications you can do, and we'll go through those today. If you want to modify the resonator on this car, you want to get rid of it, right? You're going to have to cut it off really straight right here. And what I did then was I plastic welded on a block off plate on the outside. You can look up how to plastic weld things, but you know, it's hidden, so I didn't do like a perfect job and make it look really professional. I used actually a soldering iron, and a soldering iron with melted plastic all the way around completely seals it. You don't want to have any outside air coming in. And then what I did was I went ahead and I tapped it with these barbed hose fittings, and I ran the two vacuum lines into the barbed hose fittings. And then over here is a fitting that goes into the side. Here's another angle so you can see it a little bit better. Again, it's not the prettiest job in the world, but it does the trick. Did I notice any huge power gains from this modification? No. But I did notice a slight induction noise difference. It was a little bit louder. Next modification would be replacing that stock air filter with a K&N or similar, and that's pretty easy to do on the GS400. It's a simple drop-in. It just fits right in there. Did I notice a huge performance difference with this? No, I did not. In fact, it's probably maybe 1 to 2 horsepower difference, and you can't feel that anyway. I've already cleaned this one probably 4 times in about 40,000 miles. The next modification is what will get you the most induction noise or sound out of your intake. And this is going to be a little bit controversial because essentially you're going to kind of ruin your stock intake system. So if you go to sell the vehicle and somebody has an issue with this, you know, I mean, that's their problem, but it sounds really good. What you do is you make as many holes as you can before the air filter, so you don't want to make any holes after the air filter. You want to do it where there's no hot air. So I did a bunch of holes right here on the front. Use a hole saw attachment on your drill. Obviously take this whole assembly out to do it. You can drill some real clean holes. It looks okay. I just call it the Swiss cheese mod. These are the attachments you can utilize to make some clean holes in your airbox assembly. If you don't believe me that you can modify the intake on almost any car, here's a perfect example of a non-performance oriented vehicle, a 2008 Honda Pilot 3.5 VTEC. Took out the resonator on top, took out the resonator on bottom, took out the elbow that goes down in the fender well. There you have it, guys. That's one way to modify the stock air intake system on your vehicle. Each vehicle will vary slightly, but the Lexus GS400 is a very easy intake system to modify. The intake system stock is actually really good. You're not going to get much in regards to gains out of some of these modifications I've showed you today. However, you will increase the induction noise, and that's kind of what we're after here. We want that vehicle to sound better. With all these modifications here, the only cost to you is going to be that drop-in filter if you want to go that route. Otherwise, everything else is pretty much free, aside from maybe the barbed hose fittings. You have to pick some of those up at your local hardware store. So thanks for joining me. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. We've got more modifications coming up. On our next episode, we're going to install a fuel injection performance intake kit, or FIPK, from K&N onto this car. And I can tell you right now, that does have some gains. Dyno-proven gains, actually, and I'll show some dyno graphs on that. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode.